I want you to think about consumerization as more than just brands. So it's not just about Apple and Sony and consumer brands like Google invading the workplace. It's also about changing expectations. People expect in consumer space instant gratification, right? If it's not something that they like right away, they take it back to the store, they click to the next web page. And that's very challenging because if you contrast that with things that are typically deployed in an enterprise like IP telephony or ERP, who would say that the first guy cut over on a big SAP deployment is happy as punch? Right? No, of course not, right? It's the last guy or when the whole department is cut over, and even then they may not say they're pleased as punch. And that's a challenge. And then, of course, when you talk about consumerization and choice, it begs the question, where's the data stored? And I think Carolyn was talking about big data, a huge question that I don't think has been fully answered yet, but that leads us to, well, where is it stored? Is it stored, for example, in a hosted or a cloud environment? The fellow that was doing the GPS discussion earlier talked about what's the liability around it and the regulation. And these are large macro trends that are affecting all vendors, not just research in motion. Common to all platforms and really to even our competitors in this space, what is mobile device management? For those that don't know, first and foremost, it's asset management. Understanding what devices I have, what levels of software they're at, and being able to report on it. And it really breaks down into a few things. The first thing is don't try to predict all the trends. You're not going to be able to. You're simply never going to be able to keep on top of it. So don't try to pick the winners. Just understand there's going to be a lot out there. The next one is the users already know what they want to do. I think a number of the folk on our panel today talked about inviting the end users to be part of that process. They quite often, they may not know all about it, but they'll probably have a pretty good idea how some piece of technology, particularly on mobile, could help their business. You just need to ask them. Look for self-serve. So in terms of a management capability, many of the new tools out there, certainly our MDM solution, offer a lot of either self-serve or very lightweight tools to be able to manage and self-manage not just the endpoints, but even things from application distribution. I mean, that's what app stores are. That's self-serve users, the user self-serving to deliver applications to their endpoint. And finally, security. Pick the stuff that you're worried about and secure it, and don't worry about the rest. The fact that I have Angry Birds on this doesn't mean that I can't use it for real work, but maybe I don't log into that when I actually hand it back to the kids in the car and they can go play their games on that. So the question really is mobility worth the risk? This is actually a challenging question. I think it varies depending on the industry vertical that you're in and the type of organization that you are. I don't think there's any one size fits all, but again, this came from that Forrester study that I referenced earlier, and the net of it is basically the investment that you make in mobility. And let's be clear, it's investment, okay? This is not a zero-sum game. This is something where somebody invests to enable their business moving forward, is worth it because the outcomes are bigger.